Well, yeah, the thing you did your mic. I mean, yeah, I think all
Exactly. My mic. Fair.
Nasty, man. So that's why.
What is up, lovely people? Welcome to the Talkin Spice podcast. It's your boy Chris. We got your boy
Chris also.
And Chris.
Yeah, the Chris's.
The Chris's. Is it Chris or Chris I?
Welcome to the ultimate crisis.
Is it Chris's or is it Chris I?
Chris is full Chris.
Christophemus.
Or is it Cristobal?
Isologo.
It's Duke first. Or do the Duke first.
The Dukumst.
Welcome back to this wonderful podcast of us talking some stuff.
This episode is not sponsored by Fria. It's not. We have to be drinking Fria because we're island boys, but it's not. Fria sponsor us.
Hey, si Boson sponsor us, if y'all sponsor us, hey, a shirt, I will get a tattoo. Fria Turdia.
You better do it.
Fries Bosit.
Please sponsor it just so you get to the tattoo.
And you know what? And Graham just found out that you can order Fria on bol.com.
Yeah.
Who would have thought it?
Yeah.
A genius.
We're moving up to it. Cheers to Fria.
Cheerio. Pip, pip.
Cheers to Fria. I will not do it over the electronics.
Bluetooth. Wi-Fi.
And all three of us are rocking the banana flavor.
And the funny part about it is we do a cheers and then it goes completely silent.
I mean, we got a drink, so you know.
Yeah, I know, but it's just, you know, as a listener of the podcast, you're like,
you gotta drink, sip one by one so the rest can banter.
Oh, okay.
Is my podcast still going?
And can we talk about how just beautiful Fria also is? It's like liquid gold. Look at it.
It's liquid gold.
Look how beautiful it is. We got a light shining on it.
Shine bright like a diamond.
All right.
I hit that.
You try to anyway.
Like a truck. Doing 40.
Like a hobo on the
I
street.
gotta find friends that actually appreciate me. Okay.
Good luck.
I think we're the best you can do. Hate to break it to you.
No, but for today's podcast, we got an interesting topic because your boy Darryl right here was invited to go to Curacao and do a talk at the Kolektivo Festival.
Yes, sir.
How was that?
What? Yeah. And what was it? Like, explain to us what it was.
It was profound.
Profound?
Profound.
Mm-hmm. Profound.
See, the Kolektivo Festival is the Curaçao's first, and I think in the Caribbean it had to be the most significant, or if not the biggest, event focused on social impact, technology, and entrepreneurship.
Technology as well.
Yeah, so because a big chunk of the Kolektivo team and a big chunk of what was going down in the festival had to do with Web3, with blockchain. So it's that aspect of technology.
Yeah.
And also the intersection of technology with, important developments in a nation, agriculture, infrastructure. So how do you leverage technology to get most out of those things?
Yeah.
It was an amazing event. It was hella dope. Big shout out to the whole Kolektivo crew. I got to hang out with a lot of them and get a peek behind the scenes also. When I arrived, the founder of the event, the homie Luke, which I had on my podcast way back in the day.
Oh, damn.
He personally invited me to come. And when I arrived, he just asked me if I wanted to come hang out at the office, and they were working. So I went because I had to work on stuff too. I got to meet some of the team. Such great people. Had such good chemistry between them. Everyone's young and vibrant. Everyone has their heads on straight and shit. So it was hella impressive.
Okay. Oh, nice.
And I'm a picky person. I'm impressed, and it usually means something.
Yeah. Is the majority focused on the technology sides of things? So you said it was split into three separate.
I mean, technology is a really big chunk, but I mean, they have these massive grants that they do for people also who are starting new projects on the islands and everything. It doesn't have to necessarily be focused on technology. And you also had people who were part of the festival, the speakers who have the owner of Hobby Cascora.
Okay.
And you have the Cascora Cafe, and you have these food forests, and there's a lot of focus on agriculture and
that's great to
the
hear,
flora
man.
part of the islands.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, so a lot of farm to table restaurants, stuff like that.
Really? On Curacao?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have more than 40 food forests, and these people are fucking clever that they know which trees were better to plant which next to each other, because if you plant a tall tree, this type of plant is best in its shade because it needs more shade. And Super interesting shit.
Figure it out. Yeah.
I tried to learn as much as I could when I was there, but only there for 5 days.
Yeah.
2 days of which was traveling.
That's awesome, man. That's so great to hear, because especially like if you look back in the days, that's basically how people lived on the islands. You know, they like before colonization and stuff like that. The Caquetillos and Arawaka, that's what they did. They knew like these herbs and plants are edible. These ones are medicinal and whatnot. So it's really great that they're putting a bit more focus on that for the islands as well.
Yeah, but like they're taking that shit to like a whole new level. And also, I think a part of the angle is also being a little bit self-sufficient.
That's very important.
Because like like we import most of the
a lot,
not everything,
the fruits and vegetables that we eat. When papaya di kasota bongbong. There's nothing wrong with the stuff we can grow there.
Yeah, true.
But the thing about what made I think Kolektivo Festival special, and I think what blew almost everything in that league out of the water, is that it really showcased and highlight my firm belief that people from the Caribbean, and of course I'm mega biased, people from the islands are like have supreme potential. I think there's something magical about us, something special about us, that how we were raised, where we are in the world, how the history and the culture is put together, that like we have supreme potential to do great shit and to develop, and we speak fucking 4 languages by the time we're 10 years old. So there's a lot of reasons why. But the Kolektivo Festival really kind of affirmed that as well.
Yeah.
You had all these people doing really amazing things, and all the people from the islands. Also, we had a lot of amazing guests also who weren't necessarily from the islands, but are contributing in some way, have found their place on the islands, and they're doing projects that also benefit the island. So like it all comes back home, but these amazing, super talented, intelligent people who you think if these people are doing it, then we're gonna be fine, because there's a lot of talent here.
So here's the thing: the festival itself was a 2-day event, right?
No, it was a 1-day event.
Oh, it was a 1-day event. Okay.
I went also a little. They were clever enough to have, I guess, events and like a lot of activities organized for the people who are speaking, and they had a lot of speakers, like a butt ton of speakers.
Well, what's a ballpark number out of curiosity?
I think it was more than 30 people came to speak.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow, for 1 day. That's why I thought it was like a 2-day event.
That 2 different stages, and there were also of course panels, so multiple people at the same time. But a bunch, like a shitload of people, and of course a lot of people are not from the islands. Also, there are people like experts from around the world on technology and finance and Web3 and blockchain that were invited from all over. This guy Luke knows people like in all corners of the world, and this guy's like hyper smart, and he knows a bunch of hyper smart people. So there were a bunch of shit. There was food forest tours. They went on a snorkeling thing together. I was lucky enough to give a workshop also, like 2 days before the event.
What kind of workshop?
Happiness workshop.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so practical happiness.
Yeah.
So I gave a nice workshop to a big chunk of the speakers, and they announced that they are opening a new collaboration workspace.
Okay.
Like in the property of what used to be Curacao.
Okay.
That is really
That's gone.
It's the Curacao Museum is still a thing, but I think it's technically called Cura Botanica now, like the lodging.
Oh, the hotel area. You
Yeah.
mean? Okay.
Yes, I think the hotel part's called Cura Botanica. And but they had this big monumental pond on their property.
Yeah.
That they're making into collaborative space, so people can go there and work. And if you're from abroad, you can rent space to just work and everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
A fucking massive, beautiful venue. Very nice location for it. So they're doing a lot of really interesting shit. I think I was surprised at how much dope shit is being done, because I'm disconnected. I'm all the way here. I have a lot of things going on. Just now reaping the fruits of my hard labor with my business. So now I have room to breathe, and I can actually appreciate shit. But last 6 years I've been focusing on not failing, basically.
Yeah.
And COVID and shit and lockdown. But there's a lot of super interesting shit going on. There's people doing things on all kinds of levels, from technology to entrepreneurship and finance and economics, and even like spoken word. I got to meet this guy called Ralph Minent, and he he started this organization called, God, it's something with narrativa. Can't be forgot. I gotta look it up because I gotta give him his props.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's a poet, and they do spoken word events.
Yeah.
And Cargando Narrativa, that's what it was, carrying narratives.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was on a panel together with that homie of yours, Terracora.
Mm-hmm.
They were on a panel with those two and with two other people, and just it was that panel was my favorite part of the whole event because it was talking very much from like island centric opinions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, and the people from different walks of life and the potential and everything. That was super interesting. And Ralph had this beautiful quote that he said. They were talking about how can we further island people more and our culture and community. How can we take the next step forward? And he was talking about how like we have to have an opinion, we have to want to do things, and we have to speak up about it. And the quote was, "Ik zend nos boos, ik zend nos." You know what I'm saying?
Amplify our voice, amplify us. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, like such a good guy. I have a call scheduled with him one of these weeks also just to like chat and catch up. Yeah. I got to meet a lot of interesting people there.
Yeah.
So it was pretty profound event. I think everyone who didn't go
missed out.
Really missed out, and have to really make a point of being there
next year.
I think this Kolektivo Festival has to be, in my opinion, the most important like event on the island for everyone.
Yeah,
if you care about your island progressing and living up to its potential, which is a lot, in my opinion. Again, I'm biased as fuck.
Yeah.
But I believe that Antillanos are super people, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Some of the smartest people I know are Antilleans. Some of the most clever, creative, beautiful, wonderful people. Again, I'm biased, but I really believe that Antillanos are on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
We just have trouble seeing our potential or living up to our potential. And Kolektivo was nothing but a big ass highlight reel of exactly how amazing we are.
Yeah, but that's the thing. When you first told me about it as well, and I started like looking into it, I was like, this is so dope that someone's taking the initiative to do something like this.
It's next level. I was super impressed how they put it together.
Yeah,
because we've been to a lot of events on the islands too, with Dad, with Tourism Bureau and Chata and stuff. And no offense, but that's echt boring old people shit.
Yeah,
this was. The stage was nice. The presenter was great.
It was like for it was very engaging for the people who are attending as well.
Yeah,
not just
I gave a talk, and everyone was very engaged. And I could really connect with the audience and everything. And it was very comfortable speaking. The host that was there was emceeing it. A guy I met there called Gillard. He's son of the music president.
Yeah. Okay.
And, I mean, this has to be one of the most fun people you ever meet in your life. You guys have to meet this dude. I've invited him over. He lives in Berlin, but I told him whenever you're in Holland, you gotta come. We gotta have him on the show also.
Yeah,
nice.
He's like Island Will Smith, but in a good way.
Yeah. So we kind of interacted via TikTok. Like we go a little.
The guy is so funny.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah.
Beautiful energy, positive, loud. Yeah. He has like the deepest voice in the world. He's like, I know. He has such a deep voice, but such a great guy. And we got to connect and. Like, you know me, I like to do shit fun. So there were, I think, 3 or 4 speakers before me. And they had very specific topics because that was their expertise.
Yeah.
I'm more of a jack of most trades kind of a person. Yeah. And my talk was, specifically, I just chose to talk about something that's more, I guess, ambiguous. And talk about happiness. And what my whole thing was, island lessons for thriving. So how I'm thriving because of things that I learned growing up in the islands. So I wanted to have a little bit more of a heart to heart with people, like let people, because it's the event first of its kind. So inherently everyone's a little bit on edge. People who are come are a little bit still like feeling out the waters. People who are organizing. So I wanted to kind of break the ice. Everyone relax. They can sit back in their chairs. So I told Gellert, look, you want to have some fun? Because he was emceeing like. People are a little bit like hyper focused or engaged, and
like very like proper.
Some of the speakers were a little bit nervous also and stuff. Like, you guys know me, I don't give a fuck about anybody's opinion. I've always been on stage with shows and shit, and I never get nervous or shy. So I was like, I told him, you want to have some fun? He's like, cool. So I taught him like a specific handshake. I told him so when I come up stage, he presents me like Darryl Remain, and I walk up stage.
Yeah.
So like people just kind of like either like give a handshake or pat on the back, or they don't interact and they just kind of cross each other.
Boring.
I told him, nah, let's have some fun. So I taught him like the handshake. We do like 3 claps and a salute. So we practiced it really quick behind the stage, salute. Like, oh, okay, dope. So he understood. He was on the same page. He understood the assignment. And I got on stage and he gave me a great presentation and a great introduction. So I got on stage, was like big, like everyone, and people, you saw people like they kind of like look at each other and they kind of, they let people relax, they let go and everything. And I also told them like, I'm gonna throw a few jokes at you, and I need you to be aware so I can bounce them off of you. So in my speech, like I said, I wish I could talk to you for 6 hours, because I could talk to you about mental health and psychology, entrepreneurship and thriving, and I could talk to you for ages, and I love to talk, but I think 6 hours is gonna be a little bit too much. So then I was like, is 6 hours a little bit too much? And then Gillard, right on time, he was like, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit too much, man. So and then so you help people relax a little bit. Exactly. And then had a fucking great talk, and I fucking completely forgot everything I wanted to say.
Oh shit!
Like I practiced, like I wanted to say specific things in a specific way to tell a story, and like right when I was ready to get on stage, I was looking through my notes. I'm like, I'm not gonna remember this shit. So I was like, oh well, fuck it. I just got up on stage and I just talked, and I covered most of the things I wanted to cover. I missed a few specific things, and I made a boo boo because my last slide had like, my Instagram, Kunuku's Instagram, and everything. But I forgot to click to the last slide. So
okay.
That was the one because that stays up long. So I was like, and after you go like, thank you. Boom. Put there, and then so people can look it up. As,
I forgot.
Fucking forgot. So that's the only thing.
Killer didn't have your back.
No, but that's actually something that I wanted to tell you, because yes, you've always been one of the persons that, for lack of a better way of saying, I guess, would say thrive in the limelight. Like I remember when you and your friends, you guys were organizing the Curacao annual gaming event.
Cage.
Exactly. The first time
That's what it stands for?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a name like Cage, like
Johnny Cage.
I didn't know it was an acronym.
So for people who don't know, back when how old were you guys?
I think we were 15.
Yeah, around 15 years old. Darryl and his friends, we were all very into gaming. They're like, you know what? People around they're doing tournaments. We should do one too. They don't have anything like that. Let's organize one. These guys organized, like hustled, organized, got sponsors, like electrical companies to sponsor TVs and stuff like that.
We ghettofied that shit, but we made it work too.
Went to the part of the trade center on the island, rented that out and stuff like that. You guys had a prize, you had a prize pool and stuff like that.
We were in the newspaper, we were on TV. And then after that, we also had a bunch of like smaller events, also just like a Smash tournament. And shit. Yeah. We were like, fuck it, let's do this, and we organized. I think back till that point, it was always the biggest gaming event.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
I don't think there was anything else.
I don't know everything else, but I didn't care enough to like look into it. I'm like, this is what I want to do. I don't care what everyone's doing.
Yeah, but even then, like you even though you guys were working as a group, you were always correct me if I'm wrong, the main voice. Like if anyone was doing announcements, you would be the one like running around being like...
I'm definitely almost always the loud one, but in this specific case, in Cage, it was definitely like a group effort. I didn't by no means do it by myself, and everyone...
Oh, no. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I meant
when, when I got to yell at people, when like everyone's like, hey, we're going to start, I'll be the one scream.
No, but that's more what I meant. Like usually if they need someone to speak, it would be you.
Yeah, because...
That's what I meant, yeah.
But like, I don't thrive in the limelight. I thrive, in my opinion, everywhere, because I just don't care. I'm the same... whether on stage or with you guys, like how I am is how I am. Like people's opinions of me don't affect me, so I don't change for anyone. When I have to protect my own energy, I pull back. I get chill. If I see opportunity to enrich my energy, then I'm loud and I'm there. But like whether I'm on stage in front of people or not, I don't give a shit. I've always done stuff that makes other people uncomfortable.
So in that like because to my knowledge, I don't think, because you've done a couple talks as well, like you've been invited to schools and stuff like that. In preparing for this event, was it different? Did you feel a bit more pressure, or?
No, I knew exactly what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Me and Fleur are very deep into personal development, personal growth, mental health, positive psychology. That's what Thrivefully, our new business, is all about. So I could legit have spoken for 6 hours.
Yeah.
I had to like fucking filter down what I actually wanted to say to have like
Yeah.
an interesting narrative, to not just be like fucking. I didn't want to just go down a list.
Yeah.
Or I didn't want to talk about just myself in that way either.
Yeah.
And I was also trying to see what way could I contribute nicely to the event. Because I had people talking about super interesting shit, but if you don't know anything about Web3, I was legit. A few of the talks I was a little bit lost.
Yeah.
And then they wrapped it up nicely at the end. I'm like, okay, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah. That's always the important part.
People talking like deep about blockchain and shit. Like people take
true.
it.
But that's a nice thing, as long as at the end you can convey that information that a person that doesn't know that much about it can get it. Then you get your point across. Well, at least you pique their interest that way. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Let me go look it up, and they'll do their further research. So as long as you can wrap it up at the end, so they get it. But you mentioned an earlier point about how the festival really solidified for you that Antianos are like let's say super people and super talented. But what was it? Was there something specific there, or was it about that festival that solidified it for you? Was
like
it a
how
thing you saw?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for me, it was how everything came together. Like once everyone's in the flow, people were talking, and you were thinking, oh man, we're doing this also, or this guy's thinking about
so
this, or so once it all came together, like the whole event as a whole, like collectively, Kolektivo. No, for real. Like I'm not even joshing you, but how it came together in its whole. I mean, if you ever need a moment to be proud of your own people, that was it right there.
You just saw the different aspects of
that's what like it was super inspiring, and like I'm usually a very inspiring person myself. I try to inspire people, but I was very, very much inspired. Like I needed something to kickstart my, I guess, patriotism a little bit, and this did it very, very well for me. And they already invited me back for next year.
Nice.
And I hope that's an actual invitation. But like everyone was so like
they were riding the high.
Yeah, everyone was, especially when
Cloud9,
especially at the end, because the founder Luke, he gave the één voor laatste speech. I think they should have ended with him, because his last speech was echt gewoon. That's how I want to end the festival.
Yeah.
And the person who followed him, Will, he has a very interesting topic that we could get into if we have time. But once Luke was done, and everyone was like collectively like, okay, we pulled it off. Like your boy Terracora started playing, and again, I'm fucking biased, but this guy has to be the best DJ I've ever heard in my life.
But
like by fucking far. That's how good he is. Like he read the room. He was putting on shit. He had like, it's a business technology event, but because on the islands we have an inherent nature to make everything low key. Like it's not formal in the sense of you're not allowed to be yourself. It's more like, no, we're here because we give a shit, but there's always a way to have fun.
Yeah, so a relaxed vibe too.
Yeah, it was it was great. Nacho Bolobo, they made a beautiful setup with lights and everything. Yeah. So once it was done, and this guy came on and he started playing his music, was that people went fucking.
Yeah,
like all the nerves came down, and people were dancing. It was a big circle of people dancing. Yeah. It was this. You gotta love like Baile Malo Pasabong.
Yeah.
Hey, nice. There were a few people saw Baile Malo Pasabong, but the big circle, you were going in like, but he was playing the right songs.
Yeah,
nice. Okay. And, like gewoon down to the wire, perfect like feeling.
Yeah.
Hey, so I told him I gotta hire you for at least one of my parties, like at Iron House.
Yeah.
Hey, hope you fucking bong.
Shout out to Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Like
again, I'm 100% aware that I'm super biased, but I consider myself a pretty picky person. I'm not easy to impress because I invest a lot of time learning about people doing great things. And I don't get impressed easy from people doing like half-assing things. Like people like, oh yeah, I want to start a business, and then they may like, cool, but you only have an Instagram page. Like when you actually do something, So I'm like, but these people,
but like Josh himself, again, I knew this dude's like very young and stuff like that. Man, that he is also one of the people I'm like, yeah, this dude is doing us right, because I mean, look at him now, going around the world, doing shows and doing like, really, really well for himself.
And, like he could be doing none of that shit and he'd still be a fantastic DJ, because like I was so surprised. Each time he makes something, I was like, what there?
Yeah.
Bong timing. So I was like, he makes something like, damn, this is a
didn't think
good
of that.
one.
Yeah,
Like,
I wouldn't have thought of that. Yeah,
constantly, I was in conversation with people because people came up to me to talk about my talk, and in the conversation, like the music would flip, and we were both like, what there? We were like, we were caught off guard, like, okay, what were you saying? Yeah, it was fantastic. The vibes were good.
Not dope, man.
Yeah, and
no, go ahead.
they were smart doing it at Chobolobo also because the setting is just very nice. At night when the lights come up, you have the lawn ties there.
I can never see that.
Yeah, it was echt popping. I was super proud of Island people that day.
Out of the talks that have happened, which ones stood out the most to you? If that's in
Luke's for sure. Mm-hmm. Like his vision. This guy's on another level. Mm-hmm. This guy deserves to be like respected and praised for the way he's trying to think about the islands. Mm-hmm. Like this guy's thinking on another level. Shout out to that guy. Like I think if everyone else was half as intelligent and clever and intuitive as this guy was, we'd all be better off. Mm-hmm. And he's such a humble guy, nice guy, trying to push the envelope when it comes to that shit. So for him, for sure. Mm-hmm.
What was this talk about?
Blockchain, toch?
Also, but just the whole Kolektivo, what you're trying to do.
He was talking about
He was trying to bring it all together for it to make sense for everyone.
Okay.
And I got to meet a lot of interesting people there who are doing a lot with nature and technology, at the intersection.
Yeah.
For some reason, having a really hard time with everyone's names, but there was this. I gave also a little workout workshop also.
Okay.
I told him, hey, like put me in, like whatever you guys need, I'm down for everything. So I did a happiness workshop, and the next day I gave in the morning I gave a workout. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one of the people that were there, I think her name was Adina. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure her name was Nina. Her name was Adina. She gave a talk about how they're using technology to improve the inherent relationship between man and nature when it comes to cities. So the idea that like if you live too urbanized, there are consequences to that. And if you, besides the obvious environmental consequences of deforestation and everything, but not having enough greenery around you, not having enough of a healthy relationship with a green environment.
Yeah. And
she was talking about how they're thinking about how people can have a minimal amount of time in green environments. So if let's say you're getting 10,000 steps a day,
have those 10,000.
How many of those 10,000 are surrounded by green?
Because
all the health benefits and the the cognitive benefits you have from it. Mm-hmm. How they're using heat mapping of certain cities to see where there's a lot of concentration of either uitstoot or heat. They can intelligently predict this street needs more shrubberies or more trees or needs to be painted white or these roofs. So like fucking clever shit. And in the sense that when she was talking, I think what made Kolektivo special is everything everyone was saying, everyone could understand the link with the islands. Like, so if you let this girl be in charge, because she's smart and for fucking else in the room, let her decide, because then we're gonna have a country who is in perfect balance with nature. Like our urbanization is optimal for us to live and function and be productive, but we have a healthy balance, like a symbiosis with greenery and everything. Like when you build a new fucking mall, you fucking tear everything away, find a way to make it work with the natural flow. Change the way buildings are built or sidewalks are made so that you don't sacrifice nature for the sake of urbanization. So like fucking intelligent shit. I'm like, damn, what the fuck did you come up with this shit? So that kind of stuff.
Okay, dope.
Out of curiosity, the talks, because they were island based. Were they in Papiamento or it was all in English?
Yeah, except for the homies from Apple Podcast.
Oh,
They did a podcast live on stage.
Oh, I saw that podcast
with Pick with the Prime Minister.
With the Prime Minister,
Hey, these guys are gangsters. Like on stage, just exactly how they do all their episodes.
Yeah,
they didn't let the stage get to them. The crowd, hundreds of people staring at them. It was. The fucking PM also coming on. They talk about Campo. They talk about You guys see that
all
episode?
their jokes.
No, I didn't see that episode, but I do watch that shit. But
it's definitely worth a watch. And also the Prime Minister was also super laid back and relaxed. Gewoon having fun and shit. Like you're gonna Prime Minister? Which other fucking country can say that they have a Prime Minister on a live podcast broadcast at an event talking about legalizing weed and prostitution shit. Shout out to those guys.
But that's also the thing that I liked about that podcast is because in the beginning, he was like, "Are you asking me as a person or me as a prime minister?"
Exactly. But
when it was like, okay, I understand because sometimes you got to make decisions that
Also, shout out to the homie Manuel and Boiz. These guys.
Shout out to WAP Podcast. Check it out.
And the thing is, the whole night, there were a lot of people that were coming up to me, like strangers, coming to talk about my talk and like giving me like more praise I've ever gotten in my life.
Yeah.
Like I was expecting a little bit, but people kept coming up to me, kept sharing stuff with me. Like I had some really deep heart-to-heart people there also because my whole angle was about happiness.
Yeah.
That's my personal passion also. Everything I can get my hands on to read and study about it. So I'm pretty well versed in it. So I can easily have like a crash course with someone, which I ended up having. But because the whole night people were coming up to me, I'm like, it happened a few times that I thought someone was like coming towards me and like waving to me.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be like, I tried to be as friendly as I can. So I go up to them and then they ended up being the person behind me. It happened like
you jumped the gun.
It happened like 4 times in a row in like a span of 10 minutes. So I was all like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? And so like Manuel came up to me and I saw him look at me and engage and he was like coming to me like, I was like, would it be mean to look back? Because I wasn't sure if he was talking to me.
Yeah.
Because just before it happened, so like possibly like actually like spoke to me. I'm like, okay, he's he's talking to me. Because the whole time like I'm walking from one of the stage back to the other stage because they also had a NFT gallery, and that was the only place with air conditioning. So I was,
you gotta hide from the heat.
That's a good tactic though. Make sure your shit is in the place with the air conditioning,
bro.
That's a smart tactic. If you can make that happen.
Before the sun went down, it was hot. It was caliente. From Wavy Diablo. So it was caliente.
How long was the event, if I may ask?
I think it started at 2 or 3.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then because it was
that's like peak heat right there.
And it was a lot. It was proper. Even in that long time span. It went down to the wire. It was so many speakers, so many things that they wanted to share.
Yeah, fair.
But now that you mentioned that, you think that the
So hold on. Before we go there, so I got to speak to Manuel about it. Such nice guys, humble, down to earth, and
dope dudes.
And I got to say that I love their podcast and everything. Such chill, good vibes, and that was the whole thing for the whole evening. People like. I never met him personally. I watched our podcast, of course.
Yeah.
Everyone was so friendly. Everyone was so down to earth and chill, but still everyone vibrating on that higher level of progress, development. How can we do stuff better? It was nice. It was a
good
catch it
experience.
off.
Catch it off. Yeah.
I think seriously, next year we have to make a point to I think everyone should go there. I think it's the kind of event that you want to be part of. You don't want to be the only. You don't want to miss that boat. And hopefully we can find a way for us to maybe actively participate.
Yeah.
I would love that.
You got my idea.
You combine it with your vacation. Graham's already there for a month, so
I'll set it up.
Graham will be there.
I'll help set up. Don't worry about it.
You're gonna ask?
So you mentioned that so you felt like your speech resonated with some people. So I was gonna ask, can you give some highlights of your speech of what do you think might have resonated with people, and was that they?
Yeah, for sure. Because the thing with happiness is a lot of things that you teach people or coach people is things that they inherently feel already. They don't have the language or tools for to manifest, right? So my whole thing was that because of how I was raised and where I come from, those things came natural to me. So I'm able to thrive because I don't let the things that hold a lot of people back hold me back. And that's why for me, thriving is a very natural thing. Like it was very obvious for me to start my own business, do my own thing, start a YouTube channel. Like there's never hesitation if I can measure for myself when something feels right and I can do it. So I don't have that natural block. I don't have shame or shyness or fear of judgment or all that stuff to hold me back. So I think why it resonated was that a lot of people completely understood what I was talking about and they relate. They just don't. Not everyone is able to put it into words or practice, or they have the tools for it. So I spoke about it in a way that made it a little bit easier for people to be like, you agree with me. You also feel that way. You also have the same potential. Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
So I talked about 3 lessons. 1, not fearing failure. So making friends with failure.
Yeah.
Being afraid of failure is something that can hold a lot of people back. It makes them hesitant. Makes them impairs their problem solving skills in a big way. So I talked about how my relationship with failure is very different from the norm.
Yeah.
Like I talked about how I see it is I want to be a world-class failure. So what that means is, because if we all agree that failure is part of life, you have to fail.
Yeah.
Everything great comes from failure. There's not a single thing you can mention at this table, and anyone can, that didn't come from a series of failures. Nothing. It's impossible. Like, fight me. You can't. There's not a single thing that matters in the world that didn't come from failure after failure. So if we all accept that failure is inherent, it's gonna happen. I'd rather fail in the sense that it benefits me. I'd rather fail gracefully or fail forward, because you could fail and then have negative self-talk and hold yourself down and see it as evidence that you're unworthy or inadequate. Or you can fail and then leverage it, and you can start from a higher place the next attempt. Or you can fail and it does nothing to your character, doesn't harm your identity, doesn't make you a nasty person, doesn't make you self-hate, none of that shit. That's like a kung fu level failure. And you also have a shit failure. True. If we all have to fail, I'd rather
fail forward.
Might as well feel like a G, like
Yeah.
feel with class, feel with style. So when I said that, everyone was like, "That makes sense."
Yeah.
Then I talked about being resilient, not letting things affect you. You have a choice in what affects you. Just because something happens doesn't mean it has to affect who you are, how you see yourself. Things are going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
You can either experience something and see it as, oh, I'm inadequate, or you can just experience things and focus on the positives. Or not even focus on positive, because people don't understand what that means, but just have a natural resilience. Like, for me, there's a checklist of things in life that will never, ever affect me. No matter what shape it comes. Like, that's my mechanism. I've already made the decision of these types of things won't affect me. Things like opinions of others, or even like business failure. If I fail at business, it has nothing to do with my personal identity. My mom still loves me. My dog will still love me.
Yeah.
You know, so it's deciding for yourself what you do let affect you, the things that you do let affect you, how much that affect you. And the more resilient you are, the more you're able to bounce back and return to a state of preferred being. So most people would rather be happy, energetic, positive, productive, constructive.
Yeah.
So when bad shit happens, you can either let it pull you away from that. You can be unhappy and unproductive and so slow and sad for weeks on end. Or you can feel everything you got to feel. You can go through all the emotions. There's no bad emotions. Sadness is important. Fear is important. Shame is important. Everything's important.
Yeah.
But deal with it in a healthy way and get back to what you want to be. You're not going to let negative things hold you back or hold you down longer than it needs to. But most people don't even have the tools to process bad emotions. So they're waiting for it to go away.
Yeah. Okay.
So being resilient was about, for Antianos, we have to deal with a lot of shit.
True.
Like, even when you come to Holland here, you're inherently going to have setbacks and have disadvantages compared to the people around you, people who are here.
Yeah.
So you can't change the color of your skin. You can't change your circumstances. So why use it as an excuse to be less than what you are? So anything that has to do with color of my skin and my circumstances, I will never allow to affect me. Was it going? So that's an example of being resilient.
Yeah.
And the third lesson was start with happiness. It's been proven, like, till the dogs come home, that if you start with happiness, like, fundamentally and practically, that's the best road towards success. If you want to achieve something, you're better off starting with happiness.
Okay.
And I went into detail about that also there, and that all those things, they resonated with people.
Yeah.
And because I put it in a nice bow, people were able to, like, see that in themselves.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, so, like, I got the start of happiness part down, but I have a problem with failure, or I don't really care about failure, but I'm not at a happy place where I'm able to leverage that. So I got people thinking, hopefully, a little bit about that.
You got like a little light turned on where they're like, maybe I can improve my own being by if I look back at this talk.
For sure. And of course, I was also just, promoting myself and what I was doing.
Yeah.
I, of course, brought up like Kunuku, Iron House, Trifoli, how it all, zeg maar, came together.
Yeah.
For example, that during COVID lockdown, like, most people